unique city for having been built on the two different continents. You are now on the European Istanbul. But the day after tomorrow on our way to Ankara, we'll be driving over that bridge and be on the continent of Asia. So we'll be in the historic quarters of Istanbul, of course, today, since that's going to be a historic city tour of Istanbul. So I'll be referring to this ancient portion of Istanbul as Constantinople.
Jerry was bargaining for $1 and the guy wanted $5.
How often do we have services at sunrise? 5 times a day. First of all, let's learn the correct name for a mosque. We call them Jami, C-A-M-I. Jami. But your word mosque is coming from an alternative name for a building you can pray in. The great architect Sinan, S-I-N-A-N, so he simply followed the pattern of his master by building a huge nave and building a large courtyard, covering the whole building up with a series of domes. Have an ancient Jaja Gabor story. The lady on the lower right, her name was Zoe. But you can hardly read, or you cannot read at all, the very name of the emperor on the upper left. Because all former husbands has been erased. As she changed husbands, the artist changed the writing there. Still negotiating. You see what I mean? Istanbul, as I mentioned, was a unique city for having been built on the two different continents at the same time. Asiatic Istanbul and European Istanbul was brought together by this Bosphorus Bridge. Date of construction is 1973. This is the very first bridge in the history that united two continents. Anyway, eastern Turkey is mountainous. Turkey rises higher anyway as you go east.
We also have the capital years.
Scales has been changed, weight system has been changed, calendar system has been changed. If you want to make business with the Europeans, you have to follow their own examples of working hours and vacations and everything. So, yes, your word anchor is actually a Phrygian word. Phrygians, those great civilization which have been overshadowed by the Greek civilization, at least their great king Midas was the one that you should remember. He was a Phrygian king. we're heading for this ancient city, or old city quarters, and our destination is the wonderful museum of Anatolian civilizations. Civilization, that's the Latin word civitas, which means city. Venus of Willendorf. She is a mature late version of her, which was found in a man-made building. Tell him anything, but he is, as a member of a Turkish community, offering you some.
St. John's
apple. St. John's bread or apple.
Cairo.
Carobs, our good old figs. And what about this? Any idea what this one is? No. Sweet. Comes with a little bit, just like olives, but they're sweet. Next province called Aksaray, A-K-S-A-R-A-Y. It's one of the best preserved ones. Maybe included some silk scarves from China, and there must have been some shopping within the caravanserai as well, just like here. The doors will be wide open to every visitor until the sunset hour. As long as you reach the caravanserai in the daylight, you are welcome. But the word is caravanserai. You use that too, as far as I know. Caravan, line of camels, and sarai, the palace of the caravans. Or roadside inn. Which is going to give us a great photo op. You will get to photograph this ancient apartment complex. Wow. So here's that castle, which I call a castle rock, because the tip literally functioned like a watchtower. The Roman soldiers in the 11th century used to literally live in and around that complex, which has been hollowed out by the human beings.
That's nice on you. Yeah.
churches. Good night, like saying good night, but unite them. There was this valley, which was a natural opening, around which the ancient monks carved these churches, mostly churches, and living quarters as storage rooms. There was a big time farming activity, even in the Hittite days.
I knew you were going to do that.
Going on to the second one here, previously colored. We'll place this into the boiling pot and then your maroonish color as we see here. They'll get deeper and darker along your skeleton. Using the divider are separated into two rows. Now the pattern which they follow, she's pretty good weaver, so she only takes. What she'll do is she'll always push this first warp aside and she'll double lap. Lay that down, tearing it off. Now she goes into fast forward, working at her own speed, as we can see. As he's brushing them with the cocoons, the straws, poking each and every single cocoon, he finds the ends of each one. And once it's ready and softened enough, he will pull them out. Yavaşça çıkararak out the cocoons. How's that? Ever seen anything like this, folks? Yeah. Keep all this in mind. So when I tell you the price of a silk, you don't have a stroke. All in her hand, and she combines them into one.
So it's so difficult to imagine the conditions those early Christians were in to excavate or carve out this amazing network of underground cities. This is one of the maybe plus 100 underground settlements that are officially studied in this area of Cappadocia. This is real narrow though, you have to hold your breath. Oh, I'm not going to fit.
Whoa, it's also low.
Oh my. You're sure? You've been saying that for 4 chambers now.
This is the last one.
Oh, it's musty down here.
It is, you know, we've got pretty long. I'd love to see the rainfall.
Beautiful.
It's on the wall, also all kinds of different size and shaped walls like this.
Wow.
As it's firing, that glaze will become transparent and you will be able to see decorations below. So the paintings will be sort of sealed under a glass-like layer, which is called glaze. What is the only sightseeing stop?
2.5.
Konya. What do we do there?
Whirling dervish.
Whirling Dervishes Museum. Yes, this Rumi, the philosopher thinker, stood up one day and began spinning around itself. His students approached him and asked about this curious and interesting ritual he was following. He explained one day by saying, "Everything spins in the universe. Why not me?" This whirling session today is called Sema. And the ones who whirl are not called whirling dervishes in Turkish, but Semazan. S-E-M-A-Z-E-N. The being that flies, it means, or floats in the sky. You see what I mean? The being that floats in the sky. Opium poppy field. These white tulip-like flowers, those are poppies. They'll be all along, as we'll be heading for our next hotel from Antalya, so we can stop and take pictures.
Oh, me too.
Ah, did you get that?
Yeah, great. Okay.
Aldın mı? Aspendos. So hold your breath. Şurada indir Hayri abi. So capturing those animals, even lions, by the way, in the Roman era. Lions were captured from those mountains and brought down here to entertain these Romans. Used to boil these waters hours before the sections were open for public, and they used to boil the water all day long to be able to keep the sections like.
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes. Opium ready to be harvested.
Oh, it's nice out here.
Yeah, there's bigger drops. You can even taste it actually. It's ileride duralım. Arada fotoğraf çeksin. Look at the water.
Beautiful.
That's a very pretty and rare insect. I mean, I can see that. According to some scholars, Sardis is mentioned in the Old Testament, associated with Sepharad, because the Persians spell the city's name Sfard, S-F-A-R-D. The start of the day, Aicha. Hello. Which is, will be 3 years old next week. And take your waters, take your caps, cameras up. Hey guys, this thing is what the people remember the most from Ephesus.
Sumac killers.
It's too big. Yeah.
I have a small one.
The back or the...
Many things were dated to those, according to those levels of Troy. When you find something, you can compare it to the works of Troy and come up with this pottery looks like Troy #2 pottery. said this is his last favor for us.
Tell us.
Let's give him a hand, man.
Hey, Harry.
Thank you, Harry.